People are starting to ask real questions about Mary's loyalty and what she might have seen or heard over the years. She's been close to Diddy through it all, his rise, the drama, and now the scandals. And while she stayed quiet, that silence is starting to look suspicious to some folks. Misa calling her out publicly and filing a lawsuit, that's a big deal, especially when they've been friends for decades. Whatever happened behind the scenes, it seems like Misa's done, keeping it quiet, and Mary might be next in the spotlight.
Should be ashamed of yourselves. And all of you that won't speak, I hope you get charged right with them as an accessory before, during, or after each crime, because every that's been around Diddy seen Diddy beat a
That kind of deep history makes it even harder to believe Mary doesn't know what's been going on behind closed doors. And now, with Misa stepping forward and calling out names, people are wondering if Mary's silence is a choice or part of the problem. Misa showing up at that trial wasn't about Diddy. It was about protecting her son. But in doing that, she might have also started peeling back the layers on people like Mary, who've stood by Diddy for decades without ever speaking up. And with a lawsuit now in play, it looks like the friendship between Misa and Mary might be heading toward a breaking point.
Well, when I met Puff, I was afraid of success, afraid to do anything that could put so much attention on me. And then when I met him, he was the complete opposite. And he was such a good thing for me because I needed what he had. And so his ambition pushed me to be ambitious because I didn't know how, because, you know, when you come from where I come from, you're scared to be ambitious. You're scared to want more. And so when I met Puff, I was, blown away. But it took some years to grow into that and accepting someone that just was so excited about being seen and about having, the lights on him and wanted it for you more than you wanted it for yourself.
That story from Danny Boy definitely adds a whole new layer to the conversation. If what he's saying is true, it paints a very different picture of what was happening behind the scenes back then. Misa, Mary, and Diddy were all moving in the same circles and seeing each other at their highs and lows. Now, decades later, those old connections are being questioned in a completely different light. As lawsuits start flying and friendships get put under the microscope, the real question becomes, who's protecting who, and who's finally ready to speak the truth?
I was kind of confused when I heard Kurt saying that Mary was pot girl. Because at that time, she was my girl. At that time, I'm 15, 16 years old, and she flying me in to see her. And you know what it is when a girl back up on you, you young, and I'm trying to show her that she ain't phasing me. I'm hard as goddamn. She's backing up against me. This Mary J. Blige. And quite naturally, I mean, I don't even know if you're supposed to say you had sex with people on camera? Anyway, whatever. I'm not quite sure, but...
Relations.
Yeah, we had relations. That's a good way.
Misa was right there when all this went down, and she knew exactly what was happening. That makes you wonder what else she might have seen, not just about Mary, but about Diddy too. There are rumors that Diddy may have taken advantage of Danny. Boy, it's not clear if Mary introduced Danny Boy to Diddy or if Diddy acted on his own. Since Danny was always in their circle, most people think Mary knew what was really going on behind the scenes. Online, there are lots of photos of Mary J. Blige and Diddy together, sometimes with others like Cassie. There are also pics of Kim Porter and Mary, showing they were close. Mary even attended Kim's funeral and gave a speech. If anyone saw Diddy's behavior up close, it would be Mary J. Blige. That's why people like Jaguar Wright say Mary should be ashamed, either for being involved or for turning a blind eye to what was happening.
Because that fancy dog collar that Puff got around your neck and has had around your neck for the past 30 years, it should have been done got tight. It don't feel like a noose, Mary.
Mary J. Blige once said she thought something was wrong about Aaliyah's death. She even said it made her feel like she might be next. She said, "When I saw her die, that's when I realized I'm next. I don't know how or when, but I'm next. I don't know if it will be some kind of freak accident or an overdose, but I knew it was coming." Honestly, I'm scared. That's not something you say unless you've seen things most people haven't. It suggests Mary knows what really happens behind closed doors in the music industry and who's involved. She's been close to Diddy for decades, and there are whispers she was more involved than she lets on. Some claim Mary was part of Kim Porter's first threesome with Diddy. It sounds wild, but it's not the only time her name comes up in stories like this. There was an unpublished book Kim Porter was working on before she died, and leaked pages mention Mary, including a pregnancy she allegedly had with Diddy. The story says Diddy didn't want the baby and pressured Mary to end it. If this is true, Mary saw a lot of what Diddy was doing behind the scenes, and so did Misa. But Misa has been more open about it. When their sons, King and Justin, were detained and Diddy's home searched, Misa was reportedly calling Diddy nonstop, furious. About how the boys were treated, she shared a video of law enforcement entering Diddy's Westlake home with guns drawn. King and Justin were held in a hallway. Justin walked toward officers with hands up, and King was handcuffed against the wall. Any mom would be terrified. Misa also reacted to the video of Diddy and Cassie in that same hallway, saying, "I'm heartbroken that Cassie has to relive this trauma. My heart goes out to her. I know exactly how she feels, and it triggered my own pain. These kids were raised by women who wanted the best for them. We put God and education first and have always worked together to support their dreams. 2 of these young men don't have their mothers anymore, so it's been our duty to help. Their father needs help too, and I pray he does the work to get better." Many believe Misa was referring to her past with Diddy when she talked about her pain. Rumors say Diddy was controlling and abusive toward her, and he cheated on her with Kim Porter after putting her through so much. Here's what happened. When Diddy and Kim first met, she was a receptionist. Diddy was with Misa, his first child's mom. He fell for Kim, and others noticed. Surprisingly, Misa and Kim became friends. Kim broke up with her boyfriend and stayed with Misa and Diddy without knowing Diddy was cheating with her. Later, Diddy made his relationship with Kim public in 1994. We don't know all the details between Diddy and Misa, but Misa's issues with Mary J. Blige say a lot. It could be about loyalty, betrayal, or things both women saw over the years. All tied to Diddy, this shows how messy and painful life can be behind the music industry scenes. It's not just fame and money. There are secrets, heartbreak, and broken relationships. Mary, Misa, Diddy, and others have lived things the public may never fully understand. If you found this interesting, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. What do you think about Mary J. Blige's involvement? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're watching closely